Kids, I'm going to tell you an incredible story. The story of how I met your mother.
Are we being punished for something?
No.
Yeah, is this gonna take a while?
Yes. 7 years ago, before I was dad, I had this whole other life. It was way back in 2023. I was 34 and really getting in my groove of life. I'm living in Moreno Valley, enjoying my life outside of the Marine Corps, and freshly graduated from Cal Baptist. My life was good, and I met a girl in the grocery store that went and screwed things up. I was walking around Stater Brothers, and I went down an aisle, and I happened to see a girl that looked like she was struggling a little bit. She asked if I could help her get something off the top shelf, and afterwards asked me for my phone number. I was going to attend a comedy show / karaoke competition that Friday, and figured I'd ask her to go with me. She seemed excited to go and was all for it. I sent a text to, what was her name? Her name was, honestly, I can't remember what her name was, so we'll just call her Blah Blah. I texted Blah Blah to see if she was still up for the comedy show, as we had been texting all week and she seemed excited, but Blah Blah never replied. I was a bit down about getting stood up, but I decided I'd still head to the comedy show at Taylor's Bar and Grill in Redlands, California, and do my best to enjoy the night. I made a new friend in one of the comedians by the name of Ryan Rudisinovich. I performed my old faithful song and forgot about Dre, and I blew the comedians away. I ended up being one of the winners of the competition and won tickets to see Hoobastank. After the competition, I was feeling pretty good about winning, but my friend Rob cracked a joke about me getting stood up, and that feeling came crashing back. I wasn't terribly sad or upset about it, but I was feeling a little down. Blah Blah seemed pretty cool, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. Rob told me cheer up and he wanted to go hang out at another bar in Redlands called the Whiskey Republic. I was honestly over the night and was ready to go home. My buddy Rob wouldn't take no for an answer. He was pretty inebriated and told me, well, if you're not going, I'll drive myself. I told him, no, we're not having that. I'll take you. We hop in my car and drive off to Whiskey. We get there and there's a line at the door. My boy Rob is chatting up with people in line and they let us cut the line with them and get in. Now it's completely packed in there. Standing room only. My boy Rob says, let's head to the bar and I'll get you a drink. We go there and Rob continues to do his thing and he's chatting it up with people at the bar and the bartender while we get our drinks. Rob is having the time of his life and I'm pretty much just there going through the motions. I tell Rob, hey bro, I'm ready to head out. Rob pleads with me, nah bro, don't go. At least wait for David to show up so I'm not here alone. I begrudgingly agree and we continue to walk around, meeting up with people he knows. We bump into our buddy Van, yes, like the car, and I chatted up with him as Rob does his life of the party thing still. Once again I tell Rob, hey bro, I'm ready to bounce. He once again pleads, come on bro, just stay a little longer. David's on his way, when he's here, then you can go. I begrudgingly agree and say, alright bro, but I'm gonna wait by the front entrance so when he's here, I'm able to just leave. He says, alright cool, I'll go wait with you. So we head to the front entrance and wait. Rob notices I'm still a little down and he decides to try and cheer me up. He looks at me and says, dude, cheer up. You're a good looking guy and honestly, you're a great guy. And I mean a great guy. I know you haven't had the best of luck out there, but you know, someone's gonna realize just how awesome you are. You're buff, you're smart, you're gonna be a doctor. Bro, you're a catch. Keep that head up, bro. You're gonna meet her sooner than later. I love you, bro. I laugh a little and say, you know, maybe you're right. Who knows? Maybe I'll meet her tonight. Rob laughs, puts his arm around my shoulder and goes, there you go. I laugh and I say, I mean, unfortunately, that's not how life works, bro. I can't just be like, okay, I'm ready. Where is she? And there she was. It was something from an old movie where the sailor sees the girl across a crowded room, turns to his friend and says, see that girl? I'm gonna marry her someday. I nudge Rob and say, hey Rob, you see that girl? Rob interrupts, oh yeah, you just know that she likes it dirty. Go say hi, as he nudges me back. I say, no, she's there with her friends. She doesn't want to get bugged by some random guy. Rob says, bro, either you go or I go and talk to her for you, with a stern look on his face. I say, no, we're not gonna do that. I'll go. So I'm walking up to her and this is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my life. She's got this beautiful black curly hair, a stunning smile. I'm really nervous approaching her. I walk up to her and say, excuse me ma'am, I apologize profusely, but I wanted to tell you that you are absolutely gorgeous. She pauses for a moment and flashes that most beautiful smile ever and says, well, thank you. I say, you're welcome, ma'am. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I start to walk away. Rob looks at me unapproving and points back and says, go back and talk to her. I say, no, I spoke to her. That's enough. She doesn't want a guy bothering her while she's out with her friends. He says, bro, either you go or I go. I once again say, no, we don't want that. I'll go back. I take a deep breath and gather up the courage to go back to her and approach her again. I approach her and say, "Excuse me, ma'am, I apologize profusely once again for interrupting your evening, but would you like to hear the greatest and worst pickup line you've ever heard in your life?" She chuckles and smiles. She says, "Sure, let's hear it." I then say, "So I noticed you have a bunch of tattoos on your arm. Would you happen to have a tattoo of Franklin D. Roosevelt?" She chuckles a little and plays along and looks up and down her arms and says, "No, can't say that I do. Why?" I then say, "Because he's on all the dimes that I've seen." She looks at me surprised and starts laughing. She then says, "I have never heard that one before. That's a good one." I smile and extend my hand out and I say, "Hi, my name is Lewis." She shakes my hand and smiles and says, "Would you like to have a seat with me?" And we hit it off from there. She's asking me questions, I'm giving clever yet fun responses, and we share tons of laughs. And you know what? Here we are, a year later, going on strong. I couldn't be any happier about how we met and what we went through to end up here now. I love you, baby cakes, and happy 1-year anniversary. Who knew we'd end up here? It's like the forces of the universe were driving us together to meet that night. But you know, that's the funny thing about destiny. It happens whether you plan it or not. We had a great time, and I never thought I'd see Kassandra again. But it turns out I was just too close to the puzzle to see the picture I was forming. Because that, kids, is a true story of how I met your mother.